dudes. Just got back from the cinema seeing Deadpool and Wolverine, and it was brilliant. I loved it, and I was expecting it to be good, and it was as good as I expected and better. Personally, I think that's my new favourite Marvel film. And I'm not exaggerating with that. I think it's up there with Infinity War and Endgame in terms of cameos and shocking moments and action. It's definitely up there in the action. The fight scenes in it are insane. I'm going to try and keep this spoiler free, by the way, because some people might want to see. They're not going to want to get told what the cameos are. So obviously, if you've seen the trailer and the final trailer in particular, you've seen two of the cameos in the trailer. And one is, I'm going to talk about the ones that are in the trailer because I'm guessing everyone's seen the trailer. Sabretooth, and it is the original Sabretooth, which is my favourite Sabretooth because he's the most comic accurate Sabretooth. And I'm so glad they brought him back. He looks so cool. I was gutted he was only in the one film, in the first X-Men film, but I'm glad they brought him back. And also they showed in the trailer X-23's back. So I think that's cool. I'm glad they brought her back. But they're not my favourite cameos. There's a lot more. And I can't really talk about them because I want to keep this spoiler free. I've put it in the thumbnail and I put it in the title, so I have to do it. Maybe in a week or so I'll do a video where I'll talk about all the cameos and which are my favourite, but I don't even want to give clues because it might give the game away for fans out there. But there's one cameo in particular that caught me off guard because I thought that it was going to be one person, and then it was turned out it was a totally different character, and I was like, oh, it's that one, okay. So that caught me off guard. That was like a double whammy cameo because it was like, oh, here's this character, and then it was like, psych, no, someone else. So that was cool. And then there was a moment where one of the characters, well, three characters walk in, and I'm not going to say who any of them are, but one in particular I was so happy to see again because I can't even say anything about the actor's relationship with other actors because it will give it away. But they've been on screen with someone else in this movie before, and I can't even say if they were friends or not because I might give the game away, but it's a really good character, an old character, as old as Wolverine, and I'm so glad they got the original actor back. So glad. And he wasn't just a cameo. That's giving it away a little bit by saying a he. It's not just a cameo. This is like a legit side character. This character has fight scenes in this film that are badass and quite a bit of dialogue. I was surprised these cameos are actually full-blown characters. There's a couple that are literally just a cameo. They are just in it for a minute. They're in it for a minute. But it still made me happy. I was still glad. I was just when I saw Sabretooth in the trailer, I was like, oh, yeah, finally, Sabretooth, the real Sabretooth, is back. And some of the characters are back as well. And I was just like, oh my God. But this film brought me genuine joy This cured my depression, this film. So, some of the fight scenes in it. So, it starts off mental straight away. The opening scene is so disrespectful but funny at the same time. I can't believe they went there actually. Straight away, like that opening scene, I was like, oh shit. They went there and they didn't just go there. They went there hardcore. It wasn't just, let's allude to doing something disgusting and super disrespectful to a character that's died. They're just straight up go there. I can't say what they do because it will ruin the opening sequence for you if you know that it's coming. But it's like the whole 5-minute opening sequence is just mental. And the music in this film is on Guardians of the Galaxy levels of good. It fitted so well. It's really well done. I think this film's a masterpiece. Marvel have been really struggling recently with good films. Everything's been pretty good consistently. From Iron Man all the way up to Endgame. And then after Endgame, it's hit and miss. I'm not going to name any ones that I don't like, but everyone doesn't like them. But the ones that I do like were Spider-Man No Way Home, because it had my Spider-Man in there, OG Spider-Man, King Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield. Shout out to him as well, he's badass too. So that was awesome. That was brilliant film. 10 out of 10. Maybe a 9.5 out of 10. But at the time when I saw it in the cinema, yeah. But this is a 10. 100%. This isn't, maybe it's a 9.5, maybe it's a 9.8. This is a 10 out of 10 film. This is my new favourite Marvel film. I'm going to go see this again next week. And I wish I could erase my memory of the shocks of all the cameos so I could experience that again, because I've never seen a film that shocked me so much. Like, you know when you go, hey, and you point at the screen, like, I did that like 50 times during this film. And it does have some dark bits, and it does have some sad bits that might make you cry. But it's very consistently funny. 90% of the film's funny, 10% is serious. But the action is on point. The fight scenes are so bloody and brutal, and they show everything pretty much. There's one fight scene that goes on for about 2 minutes, and it could have gone on for 30 minutes. And they do like a fade to black, and then the fight, like, it comes back like 2 hours later, and they're both lying on the floor tired. But yeah, I love it. If you're umming and ahhing about seeing this film, go see it. If you haven't seen it already, please go and see it in the cinema. I'm going to go again, because this film deserves to be up there with Infinity War and Endgame in biggest budget, like highest grossing films. I don't know what the budget was for this, but the actors that are in it, shit, it must have been big. But I loved it. Perfect film. So nostalgic. Wolverine's always been my favourite Marvel character, and since Hugh Jackman took over the role in 1999, I think, 25 years ago, he's been consistently getting better with it, apart from X-Men Origins, but we don't talk about that. And he's so jacked in this film. I swear, there's one shirtless scene with Hugh Jackman, and he is absolutely shredded. I swear he gets in better shape every time he plays Wolverine. I don't know how, because the dude's like in his 50s now. But perfect. And people probably know by this point that Wolverine has his mask on at some point in the film, because everyone's been talking about it and everyone knows, like, it's been, he has it on at some point. That's not really a spoiler because everyone really knows, but it's so well done. I saw the CGI, like the fan versions of the mask all over Instagram, and I was like, that looks really good. I hope it's that good in the film. It's better. It's actually better than the ones that I've seen, and some of them are amazing, and this is just perfect. And the suit, yeah, he doesn't have his shoulder pads are off at one point, and I thought initially I thought I didn't like it. I thought he should have the shoulder pads and no sleeves, but it works. Trust me, it works. It looks brilliant. I love it, and I can't wait to go and see it again. And when this comes out, I'm buying this on 4K, the Steelbook Collector's Edition, the most expensive badass one they've got. And I really hope we get to see Hugh Jackman again as Wolverine, even if it's just a cameo. But this was my favourite Wolverine performance yet. Logan was amazing, don't get me wrong. It's too dark to be comic-y Wolverine. And I love the film. That film's amazing too. Don't know if it's a 10 out of 10, but it's a 9 at least. Could be a 10. But this is just better. If Logan's a 10 out of 10, this is an 11. It just turns it up to 11. That's all I need to say. That's that. It had stuff I wasn't expecting. It had stuff that I thought was just a fantasy. I was like, there's no way they're going to put that character in the film. And then boom, they're in. And I was like, holy shit. And I didn't think it was going to be as violent as it was. I thought if Deadpool and Wolverine in the same film together and there's not blood everywhere all the time, I'm going to be disappointed. And it is a bloodbath. It is Ash versus Evil Dead levels of bloodbath. I think this might be the most gory, violent film I've seen. And I'm including Terrifier in that. People get absolute, like, at one point, it's not a spoiler. I mean, it kind of is. But I'm not going to say what the character is. But somebody gets their whole skin peeled off. And they're just a skinless person standing there like, and then they just die. And people get butchered, Wolverine, and it's good. I love it. But I'm done. That's it. That's all I want to say about the film. It's a masterpiece. I'm not going to ramble on for 50 minutes like I did with The Last of Us, because I've only just got back from the cinema. I'm hot and sweaty, as you can see, probably. And I want to have a coffee and just enjoy the moment. But that film made me genuinely happy, which is very rare from films. There's films and shows that I like, that I enjoy, but this film brought me joy on a whole other level. It was perfect. So everyone, and the intro, perfect. I love it. So go see the film, make it the biggest grossing Marvel film of all time. I hope it beats Endgame. I hope it beats Avatar, and anything else can go fuck itself. So that's that. That's my thoughts on that. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and see you in the next video, mate.